Stalker 2 just launched on all platforms, and there's some good news here and potentially a little bad. But let's not all be negative and get into all that up next. What's going on, guys? It's Kalo, and I'm here to give you the lowdown on all things gaming. And if you're new here, feel free to subscribe to this channel for weekly video game news content. Drop a like on the video, and welcome to the Level Up. So before we get into today's news, talking about Stalker 2, I'm gonna shout out this here channel because we are closing in on 1,000 subscribers here, and I can't thank you guys enough. If you're new here, consider dropping a subscribe here, drop a like on the video, comment, do all that fun stuff, because again, it's just amazing seeing that number go up. It's amazing talking to you guys, and it's pretty damn amazing talking about my favorite video games. Alrighty, so Xbox just launched their next big game in Stalker 2, and reviews for it are slowly trickling in now that it's in the wild. Before all that though, I think this goes without saying, this title is a special one, and its development cycle is unlike any other game we've seen in recent memory. Now, the very short version of that whole saga is the studio behind this title is based out of the Ukraine, and that area in the world right now is going through some turbulent times, which ultimately did end up impacting this game as well. Plus, when you really think about it, this game overall took around 12 years to come to fruition, so it's safe to say it's been a long wait since the original Stalker game. Now, keeping all that in mind, reviews for the game have been coming in over the past week, and we can now get a good gauge as to where it sits amongst critics and the general public. Now, let's refer to Metacritic here, where it clocks in at a 74, and that's off of 52 critic reviews, and the Xbox version sits at an 81. Now, this is where I always say judge games off your own scale, and off your own accord, because we all have differing opinions on games, but for this game in particular, I really stress diving into the review section of this all, because when you move past that 74 grade, you really start to see there's more to it than that. I mean, if we want, let's dive into a review here from GamesRadar. Quote, "For fans of hardcore shooters or punishing post-apocalyptic games, Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl is truly incomparable. Unfortunately, due to the litany of bugs, it's the greatest game you shouldn't play right now. Give it some time and this will be one of the best survival experiences you'll ever play. But until then, only the series' biggest fans should take the plunge." Well, it's good to hear most people actually enjoy it, and I kinda liken this game to Cyberpunk 2077, where at first it was littered with technical bugs and glitches, but once you got past that, there was a truly great game there once all the kinks were worked out. And I, for one, if we're talking about Cyberpunk 2077, at launch I played it, I really didn't have any big bugs. I did fall through the map once, and there was this one part of the map that was just kind of locked off. Every time I went into it, it would just shut down the game. But outside of that, I've really enjoyed the game at launch. Now, if you're not a fan of these technical issues that continue to pull down this game, I want to stress this point if you haven't played it yet, maybe it's best to kind of hold off and wait for more patches and hotfixes to hit the game. And I'd like to think that's all going to happen within the next few weeks. Now, let's move on to the next big aspect of this all when we talk about a brand new game and how it's faring. And that's good old SteamDB. As you can see by this here chart, Stalker 2 at a 24-hour peak had around 113,000 players. I bring this up because this is another game that was released into Xbox Game Pass day one. So it's nice to see that really didn't have an impact on sales numbers. And in regards to sales numbers, I do think they may go up as we head into the weekend, mainly because more people are going to have more time to play it. I mean, when you really think about it and you head over to Steam, 77% of reviews would recommend this game. And normally when a game releases with a bunch of bugs and glitches, it's safe to say the internet, rightfully so, will tear the game to shreds. Which I also think kind of proves the point. At the end of the day, you could release with glitches here and there, but if you're a good game at launch, you're a good game, and we love you for it. Plus, heading into this title, if you kept up to date with the game's development, you'd come to expect some problems here and there, so I think it got a pass in that regard. But what I also think this title has going for it was its already massive and established fan base on the PC side of things. And I still think that holds true if those SteamDB numbers are anything to go off of. I, for one, played a little bit of this game last night, and I enjoyed what I played of it. I was really confused at first, but things started to work out. But I do plan over the weekend, like I just said, I'm gonna sink my teeth into this one even more, and then we'll maybe circle back to it all. But with all that being said, I'm gonna pass this one off to you guys. If you did happen to play Stalker 2, what do you think about it? But that about does it here. I've been K-Lo, I gave you the lowdown on all things gaming, and if you're new here, feel free to subscribe to this channel for weekly video game news content. Drop a like on the video, and this has been the Level Up.